Okay. We are going to try exactly 2 more times. If we don't get a stable stream after exactly 2 more times, it will be considered fate that we are not to stream. Okay? Okay. Come on now. There's a game running. Pick it up. Pick it up, please. This one. Bastard. There. Okay, here we go. Yes, counterfeit objects. That is correct.
Oh, okay, counterfeit. Because for a second I thought you said bounterfeit, and I was like, nope, definitely not.
Stepford. Stop.
Make literally no sense.
Any day now.
Well, you see... Yeah...
A single drop of sweat slides down his temple.
He's starting to sweat. It was him that started the rumor.
No, I'm only sweating because I just came from thinking about a workout.
Shut up, Stepford. We know you didn't start it, but we need to know who did.
Okay, fine. I was embarrassed to tell you because I know I shouldn't have been spreading rumors, but here it is. Last week, the Scandelabra told me that all the supposedly genuine silverware in the house is actually fake.
Why are you listening to the Scandelabra?
It's high time we got to the bottom of this.
Let's bring in the Scandelabra.
Exactly. I'll meet you at location 1.
Which is...
Otherwise known as the dining room table.
Got it. Yeah. So, Logan, so far, I feel as if this is gonna be okay. Like I said, if this one fails, we'll try one more time, and then we'll just have to say, okay, boogers.
Scandelabra leans in close, inhaling your scent in a way that's just a little too intimate.
Excuse me, Scandelabra.
You smell of spears. Have you been talking with Gaia?
Are you shit-talking? She said you didn't seem all that foreign to her.
I am as un-American as you can be. My gait, like so. My accent, like so. My mien, like so. Why, I couldn't tell a hot dog from a hamburger. Those from Hamburg are rather Frankfurter shaped, if you must know.
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
I would know, as I'm continental.
That was an alert. I got an alert. What was the alert? Did someone just follow me? Hi, Club Gore.
End of parley.
Oh, I can't see the alert. It's so tiny. How you doing, Glub Gore? Can I call you Glub? Is Glub alright? Okay. We gotta wait till tomorrow now, because... Oh, who's my favorite dateable so far? Oh. It's a little rough. I've actually completed a fair amount of stories. I've been storing them in collections, so if there's a dateable you missed, you can go into collections and watch them, but, okay. Most surprisingly heartwarming was Von Trapp. I ended up feeling exceedingly happy. Most excellent voice acting goes to Lux. Most maybe you could marry me, I think, is either Betty or Keys or Curtin Rod. Keys is most why are you so fucking hot? Oh, and Mac. I love Mac. Yeah.
There's something different about Prissy today. She almost seems alive, which is a strange thing to say about a plastic plant. Could it be?
No, it could not be. I am a botanist. This has all been impossible.
Well, look who it is.
Wootering can. Dirk, Dolly, Koa, Betty, Dasha, Volt, Mateo, Teddy, Bobby, Curtin, Rod. Okay, so. Dirk, no, do not care for him. However, I like him as a person. He is not my bag. Dolly, yes, love her. Super hot, super smart, get your money. She's like Shakira, right? Shakira's got this enormous IQ and is just a pop star because she's super smart, like Kesha too. Koa, love it. Would love to sit on that couch forever. Hello, Daddy. Betty, yes. Dasha, yes. Volt, okay. I mean, sure. I'm more of a fan of Eddie, though I hate his hair. It looks greasy. Mateo, Sweetie Pie, love it. Teddy actually made me start to cry because I was like, I really want a dad like that. So I'm not like into Teddy. I'm just in love with him as a family, like you're the dream. Bobby Pin, fucking rad. Curtain Rod, also rad. I was so stoked to see these two brothers just up there in Gucci, basically being themselves, and the voice acting on Curtain Rod are amazing. Is amazing. Yeah. I think the only ones I haven't really appreciated are like Timothy. I think Timothy was just a weird choice for a clock. I kind of wish there was a different story about it. I don't know if you've seen Timothy yet. Parker. I wasn't into Parker. I'm not into Hector at all. The first time I saw him, I hate ending because I was like, you're fucking creepy. Like Fantina, I didn't like doing this story, but Fantina was like creepy acknowledged. Hector's like creepy unacknowledged. Parker's the board games. You have to like play games and then a dice roll determines whether he loves you or not. Yeah, I don't get the hype with Hector either. Hector confuses the shit out of me that everyone's all hype about him. Like, to me, he's just like, I mean, to be blunt, he's just an incel who guilts you because all he does is love you. That's not, no. You know, you've been watching me breathe while I sleep. Betty has no choice. At least Betty, like, experiences guilt and feels like she's put you in a bad position, right? Hector is like, you owe me. The moment you tell him you're uncomfortable with his actions, he calls you a grease bubble on humanity, for God's sakes, you know? Like, that's not a good person. I think it's because Hector's self-esteem is you can identify with that, but fucking no, right? No. I think Hector, I was talking with Logan about this, I think Hector represents that kind of man. So, Logan, you didn't see this part, but my first playthrough, the save I lost, I got a hate ending with Hector. It's actually still in my clips, I think. But I said, hey, instead of like playing along, I said, that's kind of creepy. And he said, you are a grease bubble. Maybe not on humanity, but on the world. I can't wait to watch you die a cold and lonely death. I will be satisfied. That's why I was like, this is the reason. This is what makes, you know, men hitting on women dangerous in the world, are dudes like this, right? Like, every person who just wants to hit on the hot girl has to get through a Hector first. Ruin it. Hate that guy. Sorry. I'm sure you were like, I don't get the hype, and then I went off this, like, super duper rant, but... That's what I'm saying, Logan. I was like... And I was like dealing with it, but I was immediately uncomfortable because I'm 40, man. I don't got patience for that shit. Like, you're not gonna guilt me into your entire life being for me just because you're an AC unit. That's not gonna happen. You're HVAC, that's your job. And I was just like, it's not romantic to tell me that you observe me every waking moment. I honestly don't care that you do. It's not romantic to tell me. It's not romantic to intimidate. Well, I do care if you're doing it in a creepy way. But he had no choice like Betty. And Betty instead apologizes for putting me in an awkward position. Whereas Hector is like, you owe me something. Oh, you shit, guy. What do I owe you by using my HVAC? I'm sorry you were born an object? Alright, enough of that. Glub, why do you not like Hector? Because that's why I don't like him. Him and... Doug's the fucking worst. I mean, they tell us Doug's gonna be the worst. I was actually mildly upset that there wasn't a content warning on Hector, even if it's just about extreme low self-esteem or self-hatred, right? Something like that. I was like, that seems weird. But I haven't finished any, like, friend or love story with him, so who knows? What I do know is getting the hate ending with him made me frown. Yep. I'm gonna be running Prissy, but tell me what you think, Glub. I want to know. The one thing, what I really like to do on my channel is actually talk to people watching and hanging out. Like, that's like the big deal for me. Because
honest tobacco hero.
I like literally could be playing games in a vacuum and be lonely, or I could be talking to people about characters and why they suck or rule. Prissy, what happened?
You did it. We did it. I don't know exactly how it happened. If it was one of the things we did or all of them together. Or maybe it was just the magic of having someone who believed in me and showed up for me.
You are not an actual real plant. Are you kidding me?
But I am real. I am real and I'm everywhere.
Everywhere?
Everywhere. I think we can agree that even if there's some sciencey mumbo jumbo at work, that there's absolutely magic.
You're fucking real?
I just cannot ever thank you enough. You made my dream come true.
Wait.
I'd say I could die of happiness if I wasn't so gosh darn alive.
Wait. I'm so proud of you, friend. Yeah, she's a child. She reads as teenage to me. I can't fuck with that. I will never get look at this. I am the most balanced human that's ever humaned in this game.
This is just turning out to be the most excellent day I think I've ever had ever.
I mean, if I were a plastic plant and I suddenly became a real plant, yeah, I would call it the most excellent day I think I've ever had ever.
I am real. I am filling this whole house with color and lovely smells, and now I have a friend. What do friends do with each other? I don't even know. What do we do now?
Princess has been summoned. The kingdom of balance has arrived. We sit together and look out the window. No, I don't know how to play backgammon. We could read books.
I love books. I've actually just started one called The Backwoods in Your Backyard. What to do when your plants start to take over your life.
That feels personal. Love it. I'm reading Leafy Love, being the most devoted plant parent you can be. I actually do have a book that's something like that.
Aww. I think our story time is going to be really rewarding.
Oh my god, she's really fucking real. Okay, I run like a really long ad break, but only once an hour. We're gonna go on ad break, and I'm going to suffer about this in careful silence. Oh no, Lime. That was the end of her. That was the end of her arc. The end of her arc was that she was a plastic plant who became a real plant. Okay, so what I really feel about it in all truth is I feel like she is a giant metaphor. Oh my god, she is everywhere! My house is so pretty now! I've earned a plant! I've earned a mini plant! No, so I really feel like her story is a metaphor for, just the coming out experience in general, but being young, you know? Just knowing you're not right, knowing you're not who you are, and you can't be who you are, whether that's trans, gay, etc.
Luke points his weapon at you, barking orders without so much as a hello.
Oop. Yes, Ascension.
Stand down! Stand down! Drop your weapons and show me your hands!
Please do not hurt me.
And 2 sets of government-issued IDs.
Please don't.
Or a utility bill with your current street address also works. It's It's not preferable, but it'll suffice.
I do actually feel a lot of this game is a discussion on who we are. Yeah, like Pinocchio, literally a discussion about how to be yourself when it's impossible. You know, that it'll get better. It gets better mentality, which is very hopeful. I don't know if I 100% agree with it as a completely healthy messaging, but I do really enjoy how they're telling the stories. The stories are very self-affirming. But I only have my driver's license!
I'm sorry. Did that sound like a request? If so, that's my bad.
Did that sound like a request? If so, that's my bad!
Sometimes my orders come out sounding like requests. My intonation gets wonky when I'm, frazzled.
I've got the same issue, no sweat.
You do? Well, I appreciate you sharing. It's nice to not feel alone.
I thought we were bros. We were talking about, like, helping him set up a bomb the other day.
Anyway, I swear to the immortals, if you don't show me your hands this second, I will blow your head straight back to the Barrens. And if I do that, it's a 3-hour drive for you to get out there and retrieve it. It's a toll road, too. It'll just waste your entire day.
That is really not nice, Luke.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, 2, 1.
It's me, Ranger!
Luke squints at you for just a few seconds, and then he lowers his weapon with a relieved expression. Oh, Ranger! It is you!
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm just so hopped up on Power Crank that everything starts blurring together like a Monet knockoff that fell in some acid.
Do you mean like Jet or Psycho? Basically, he's on Psycho.
Next time, tell me sooner, would you? I don't want to accidentally blow off any of those pretty limbs of yours.
No, we are not fucking guy, not after that. Okay.
I am sorry about nearly blowing your head off, though. I just thought you were a swarmer. They infiltrated our defenses last night. Sneak attack. They came about 0200, probably intending to assassinate me, ensure I don't complete the mission. But I got the drop on them.
How'd you manage that?
Well, I continuously pump Power Crank directly into my veins. Keeps me perpetually alert.
Let's see. I actually think he's doing like buff tats.
On account of the power, and also the crank.
If we're talking Fallout drugs,
Reckon
buff
I've been
tats.
awake now for 49 months or so.
That's nuts.
Yeah. But the power crank manufacturers say if my liver self-immolates, they'll grow me a brand new one in a tank.
You don't trust anyone who says they're gonna grow you an organ? Have you... That is the first rule. Well, not the first. Probably like the 29th rule of surviving in the wasteland.
That's the power crank guarantee. But, getting back to the issue at hand. The swarmers did their best to neutralize us, but I dispatched them easily. They never would have reached the device anyway. It's hidden deep within my chassis, and no one gets in there.
You can tell which writers write. Princess, I showed you the Charlie the Unicorn I did in Old Norris, right? Snorri! But you can tell which writers did the same characters because of words like chassis. Like, come on. No one's gonna use chassis. No one writes with chassis. What if they opened your door?
Well, sure, if you open the door. Anyway, I'm glad you're here now. We can go over the details of the mission.
Yes, sir.
That's the spirit. We'll show those swarmers who controls the barons once and for all.
Yeah, this is definitely like, they were like, well, we're gonna name you after Duke Nukem, but really this is Fallout.
Luke looks around, patting himself down for something he doesn't seem to find.
Do you have a pen and paper handy? Or some other kind of note-taking instrument? Maybe some chalk?
Yes.
Luke takes the chalk from you, using it to draw on the other side of an ancient
I like that they
servant tray
decided
you
it had to be
inherited with the
chalk.
house.
Like, it couldn't be a pen and paper, it's chalk.
Good. Then let's get to it. At 0900 hours tomorrow, we leave here and head 10 clicks southeast into the death zone.
A death
That'll
zone?
take us just past the Sea of Death and the all-inclusive Death Resort on Death Beach.
Yes, I am putting a fan onto my... A Warframe player. Lime, that makes sense. You're really young. A Warframe player. Jen's a Warframe player. That'll take us just past the Sea of Death and the all-inclusive Death Resort. But yes, I am fanning my armpit with the fan. You judge someone else.
If all goes smoothly, we'll arrive on the outskirts of the Swarmer's Nest around 0700.
We're gonna walk for 22 hours.
You getting all this, Ranger?
Yes, sir.
Once we reach the Swarmer's Nest, I'll need you to initiate some sort of distraction. Something that'll allow me to slip past their security undetected. Any ideas?
Yes, but I'm not going to share it right now.
A surprise, huh? You've got a flair for showmanship, Ranger. I like that. Anyway, once I'm inside their defenses, I'll give you the signal, and you'll remotely detonate the device, okay?
Okay. What's the signal?
I'll yell detonate the device, like, really, really loud.
Okay.
Now, go get some beauty sleep. We got a big day ahead of us tomorrow.
Okay.
And if you see any swarmers in the night, remember to aim for their genitals.
That's pretty good advice for seeing anyone you don't want around at night.
That's where their brains are.
Still holds.
May the immortals watch over and protect you.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go enjoy my bajillion plants. Princess, they reproduce by fusing brains. Apparently. Alright. Scandelabra.
You return. You are rather jejune in your jests. But to become one with a path of scandal, you must give as much as you take.
There's a big scandal that Maggie found, and it involves you, motherfucker!
Truly? Bring in that magnifying glass. Well, well, well. It seems I am in high demand.
Damn right, you pewter son of a bitch.
That's one way of putting it.
What do you know about Martin Applegate? Enough chit-chat. Word on the street is you've been calling someone in this house counterfeit. Was it Martin Applegate?
Me? Why ever would I make such an allegacious allegation?
We know it was you. We don't have evidence. We have a witness that points to you.
I challenge you to produce them.
You asked for it.
Stepford!
Hi, Scandelabra.
Scandelabra's face falls.
Oh, drat. Remember last week when you told me the silverware is fake? It's not real silver, it's counterfeit?
a faint recollection of such an occurrence?
I remember it clear as day. You started the rumor, not me.
Pretty sure allegations isn't a real word. Also, the Y is pretty obvious. You're a fiend for drama, buddy.
Not so fast. There may be something underneath all of this.
Are you not real, Silver? Is that true? What was the reason you started all of this scandalabra? It's because you're not real, Silver!
Why, do you ask? Why?
It's because you're fucking computer!
Scandalabra loses control, looking rather like a harried murderer at the witness stand.
Because it's true, that's why! I've seen the silverware flaunting his authenticity left and right, and I simply had to put an end to it. When you've got real pedigree like I do, you can't bear to see others pretend they've got the same class.
Quite a bold claim, Scandalabra. Can you back it up?
Why, certainly.
No, you cannot! Why not give us your evidence then, you liar, liar face!
All right, I will. First and foremost, true silver like me shines brilliantly. Have a look and see for yourself.
False!
Dazzling.
Silver does pick up UV light. It does not, however, shine.
The silverware in the drawer is dull. Even has some streaks on it.
Like real silver. If you do not polish that with bicarbonate to actually cause a reaction that strips ions from its surface, it ain't gonna sparkle.
Second rate, obviously.
What else?
Second, there's no need to mark real silver. It's enough on its own and needs no stamp of approval. The silver in the drawer is all covered with stamps.
Also wrong. It's federal regulation and you're in America, buddy. So you say. Anything more?
Why, simply listen to the way I speak. Can you question for a moment that such a delicious degree of diction could be achieved by anything less than a genuine article?
Have you met Drysdale?
I also pinky promise that it's true. All right, no need for further questioning.
Oh my god, the pinky promise. I don't know. That makes me doubt. Pinky promise is a very important thing.
Case closed.
Pinky promise is like sacred.
Okay, now it's personal. Nobody closes my cases for me.
Uh-oh.
Easy, Maggie. Let's break all this down with a level head. Knocking this tin's ass to the ground ain't gonna help us.
Indeed. Let's separate fact from fiction and flush out the fraud.
Exactly. Why you so self-esteemy there, huh? Why you gotta wear this fucking wig, motherfucker? Logan's right. You're asserting you're real even if you're fake, 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 fake.
Where should we start?
How about the issue of shininess?
What's your opinion?
Doesn't silver tarnish?
Precisely correct. Real silver must be polished to bring it back up to its highest luster.
It's an extremely negatively charged surface. That's why it gets used in electronics a lot. What about the way Scandalabra speaks?
What about it?
He did take pains to point out his delicious degree of I don't think pedantic palaver points to pedigree.
While articulation and eloquence are praised by the prestigious, they are not foolproof signs of anything. And only a pathological prat like the Scandalabra would use it to try and cast blame on the innocent.
And how about the pinky promise? That sounds pretty legit.
Naturally, I shall not dignify that as evidence of anything except idiocy.
Listen, pinky promises are important, ma'am. Alright, I think I've heard enough.
Not so fast. You're forgetting one last thing.
Stamps. Quite so. The engraving of approval.
Real silver is stamped in order to affirm its authenticity.
Yes, federal regulation, because it used to be used for currency, guy.
If we look on your bottom, however, Scandalabra, I suspect we shall find something other than such a stamp.
Made in China!
Oh no! Not my...
Maggie slips around the Scandalabra, grasping his coat in one hand and lifting it to inspect his posterior.
we have it.
Jersey!
Not a stamp of sincerity, but the note of a knockoff.
Oh, the shame!
Scoundrel! Time to fess up!
And then you can go apologize to the silverware for having besmirched his reputation with your own lies.
I believe that punishment has no place in an enlightened society and that virtue should be held in a higher regard instead.
Scandalabra's expression goes entirely blank.
All right. I know what I've lost.
What?
I'm not really a so-called Scandalabra. I'm a completely ordinary, cheaply made knockoff from Freehold, New Jersey. I just want to be special, you know? When you're mass-produced, you just get that urge to strike out on your own. Rebel knows how it is.
Shut up, cuck.
Okay. I left the factory learning that I was essentially a defect from the start. A bum.
But there was no need to lash out at the rest of us.
You're right, Maggie. You're always right, Maggie. I've tried to dig dirt up on you, but you're squeaky clean. And for all my digging, all my messing around, I'm sorry.
Rubber ducky.
I still kinda get off on learning about all the relations around the house, though.
He pokes the tips of his index fingers together in a gesture that reminds you of the way he used to present to you.
If it's okay with you, I'll just watch and enjoy. From here.
As long as no one is getting hurt. And you promise to tell no more tales.
You have my word.
Well then, I'll call this case closed. Stay out of trouble. What is your real name?
Oh, just a completely ordinary candle kind of name. John Wick.
John Wick!
An utterly ordinary name destined for mediocrity. You're quite certain.
Well, Mr. Wick, stay out of trouble.
We did it!
You were wonderful.
You were wonderful. I can't wait to work on another mystery with you again.
As a friend, or...
No, something more than that.
You've just made me so happy. I can't wait to see you again. Goodbye for now, lover.
Maggie leaves you, seemingly unwilling to formally resolve your relationship in the presence of the disgraced Candelabra.
Okay, Maggie, you gonna tell me about Martin Applegate? We need to learn about Martin Applegate. That sink, he's mysterious and not real. You better fucking tell me about Martin Applegate.
I'm so glad to see you again. After the Scandelabra case, I haven't been able to get you off my mind.
You want to know what I haven't been able to get off my mind? Martin Applegate. Me neither, Maggie. Tell me about Martin
You
Applegate.
met?
I do. I could see this becoming something really special, but also tell me about Martin Applegate.
As could I.
Hello, nice to meet you, blind. First off, Maggie, the best, but also tell me about Martin Applegate.
I actually went ahead and interviewed all of your exes, and I couldn't find anything worrisome about you at all.
Yo! 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 You're kidding?
Just a matter of sorting through old school records and scraping social media profiles. It was hardly the work of a few long nights.
You can't do that. That's totally not cool.
It's not?
No, it's totally inappropriate.
You know, I feel like I can finally trust you enough to share something with you.
There's no excuse for you sitting up all night and talking to my exes.
I've never told anyone about this before.
I don't care how cute you are. You can tell me as long as it's about Martin Applegate.
Well, there's a case I've never been able to solve.
Really? You?
Yes, me! In spite of everything I've tried, it's escaped me. It haunts me.
Tell me. Maybe I can help you.
You already know what it is. It's the mysterious case of Sinclaire the Sink.
Martin Applegate! Martin Applegate!
Or should I say, Martin Applegate.
Martin Applegate.
Are you sure you're up for this?
I didn't come all this way with you to back down now.
It all started with the dandelion.
The dandelion, where they serve all those weird things?
It's the first thing I remember anyway. Up until that point, Sinclaire was his usual self. Just a sink and a bar of soap shaped like a dog. Nothing fancy. But then, one day, you came home late with some takeout. And after that, things started to get a bit weird.
Did I poison him with poppy seeds? So I got some takeout from the questionable dandelion?
Yes, you must not remember. Perhaps it was one of those ghost kitchens? The ones where they only serve food to ghosts?
No. You mean, no. Well, okay, fine.
Just a detail I remember from the night Sinclaire changed. He started insisting that everyone call him by the name Martin Applegate. And then rumors started going around about all sorts of strange things he was saying.
He says some wild stuff.
I must confess, I can't make any sense of it. What I suggest we do is go and speak with him together.
I just let her have it. Like, I want to explain to her. She's not. She can't hear me. She's a picture. I know he'd like to speak with you too, and I need to know what the fuck's going on with that guy so that I can finish his story and he won't keep showing up with other datables. You know that Penn tried to go on a date with him? It was dangerous.
Excellent. If you'll bring me to him, we can take things from there.
Martin Applegate.
Sinclaire does a funny little dance when he sees you, leaping up in the air and clicking his heels together.
You've returned! And no better time. I've been hearing some strange rumors lately.
Don't tell me them.
It would seem that some people are saying I'm not a man at all.
Don't tell me!
They say I'm a sink who's lost his mind. Can you believe it? Sounds like the of agreeance.
It's the of get me out of this.
Sinclaire turns his red and blue gaze to Maggie, his expression completely blank.
And who's this you've got with you?
You don't remember me?
Of course he doesn't. I don't know. There's a poppy seed stuck in his throat.
Remember you? Why, no, madam. We've never met before.
He's high on opium at all times.
I'm sure I'd remember such a stunning beauty.
He waggles his handles the way a human might waggle their eyebrows.
Huh. Interesting.
Maggie bends to allow Sudsy to sniff her hand, patting his head briefly.
Hi there, Sudsy. That's a good boy. Now run along to your tray, won't you, dear?
Yet my dog seems to know you. How curious.
Wait a second. Maggie. I know, blind. I know. She's like, hey, yeah, okay, that's cool. Whatever. We're in love. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna throw this out here. I have been blind of this game. That's partially why I've been streaming it once a day. Like, ignore my schedule blind. I stream it once a day whenever I've got time outside of my normal streams because it's such a long game and I don't want spoilers. And so I don't know anything. But I'm gonna guess that this is her ex. And I think that's why she's so fucking creepy about people she dates. Listen, I brought Maggie here to help figure out what's going on with you.
So that's the name of this shapely glass.
Right, and she's a professional. She's a professional. Could you stop fucking being a creep for 1 second, you crazy son of a bitch? We're here to get to the bottom of this.
Let's dive right in. Our mutual friend here filled me in on your last conversation, and...
How rude.
Mother, don't even fucking start with me. I will take an Allen wrench, not an Allen wrench. I will take a monkey wrench to your throat so fucking fast. You fucking asked for my help.
Yes, and that's very kind of you. I meant it was rude of me to interrupt just now.
Never mind.
As I was saying, I know the contents of your last conversation.
It seems to me there are a few different avenues for further investigation. There is my very curious choice of occupation, my journey downtown after work, my incongruous lack of memory with regard to other entities in the house, and my encounter with the mysterious vagabond of the Sinclairius.
No, she's not real.
Why, yes, that's exactly right.
I never cease to amaze myself.
Let's go through these again and see if we can't collect some evidence, shall we?
Let's do it.
Where should we begin our investigation?
Somewhere not near him. Let's go into a bit of detail about your occupation.
I work for Generally National Auto Insurance.
State Farm is there. What do you do there? What's your boss's name?
My boss is named Boss.
Lime? Why don't you go sit in the corner and think about what you've done? Did you just say that because
Jim Boss.
Jim Boss. That sounds like a fake...
Jim Bossman. His name is Jim Bossman.
Right.
What else can I tell you about my job?
What do you do there?
I'm a claims adjuster.
What does that entail?
Mostly, I just adjust claims. On some special occasions, they adjust me.
What?
Sure! Adjusting claims is a lot like adjusting the human body. Like chiropractors do. You kind of take one bit and then sort of twist it until something snaps.
As a metaphor, he's not wrong. As reality,
Then the person says, "Wow, thank you, I feel so much better."
they are not happy.
After that, you submit the claim for approval. And your boss says, "You did a great job, Martin. I'm proud of you."
I get the feeling you don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Me too! What else can I tell you about my job?
Tell me about your office.
Of course. But first, what do offices look like?
You've never seen one before.
Not exactly, no.
I should have expected that.
What else can I tell you about my job?
Let's move on to another line of inquiry.
Before we do, let's discuss what
No,
we
let's
learned.
not. We didn't learn anything.
What do you make of it?
It's like he's making it all up as he goes.
I thought the same thing.
Succulent! That's an Echeveria back there.
Yet there is no apparent ill intention behind it.
Actually, it could also be a sempervivum.
Perhaps his benign fabrication is a clue in and of itself. What do you think it points to?
He's a sink. Something deeper is going on here.
I'm thinking the same. Let's get back to our interview. What else should we ask him about?
I'd like to talk about your trip downtown in more detail.
Let us dive into that unfortunate eve.
No, let us not. I'm actually really... No. Well, fine. Let's go over it again from start to finish. No, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this!
Let's work
We're gonna
late,
figure
and
you
make my
out.
way to a local watering hole.
Yes.
A banana club.
What did you order?
I had a Shirley Temple.
That's right. I thought you said you had 7.
And then I had 6 more of them.
Okay. And these were alcoholic, or?
Surely not. Or should I say, surely not.
Right, they would have been a dirty Shirley otherwise. But you mentioned them being potent last time we talked.
My mistake. I probably just didn't finish. If I had, I would have said they were potentially the best drinks I'd ever had.
It's like interviewing a can of silly string. He's all over the place.
Okay, what happened after that?
Then I went to the questionable Dandelion.
So in Portland, we used to have a restaurant called Veritable Quandary, and I actually think that that's what they're referencing. Because we also have a bar called the Flamingo Room. and it's known for Dirty Shirley's. So I'm actually curious about, I mean, he says it's in Florida, but I think this may be a Portlander who wrote this. Let's dig into that a bit.
With gusto!
What did you eat?
I had one of their new specials. Jimson weed cupcakes with a side of Diplodocus berries. Delicious.
Both not real things. Didn't you mention that they sold Excedrin by the pint?
I didn't have a headache, so naturally I avoided that item.
How very rational of you. Then what?
I roamed about a bit. Then I saw a mysterious, threatening dark alley which I wandered into. Quite sanely, I might add.
Uh-huh.
That's when I met Vagabonda.
Yep.
Okay, let's go over this.
What do you make of the questionable dandelion?
Well, that is actually a real place.
Oh my
It's usually
God.
called the QD.
They actually are referring to the veritable quandary. It closed down and became the Q. Why? That's so niche.
It's the first thing he said that seems like it could be true. But what about those ingredients?
Okay, hold on. I'm a botanist. I'm pretty sure these aren't real. But if they're real, I need to eat my crow. Jimson weed. That's Datura! Alright, Joel. Alright. Here is a, here's the thing about Datura. Datura is the kind of trip you have when you want a reason to kill yourself afterwards. Almost everyone who's done a trip on Datura says things like seeing piles of corpses, inside-out bodies, blind, I love it, but hate you at the same time because that's really good. I think he's a liar is really brilliant. Datura, in and of itself, is one of the, they call it the zombie drug because you can, it has been known, it's probably what Juliet would have swallowed to fake her death. So I didn't know it's one of its common names was Jimson weed. So Diplodocus berries. Do not tell me this. Okay, Diplodocus, not real. It's the Diplodocus berries are a reference to Ark survival. Jimson weed is a thing.
It is?
Yeah, it's a powerful psychedelic.
By gosh, you're right! Datura stramonium.
So the first time I learned about Datura was actually when I read Coin Locker Babies by Yuru Murasaki when I was 19, 20, 21. And so, there's a high chance I'm pronouncing it incorrectly because I read it in a Japanese book, so of course I thought Datura, right? But anyway, yeah, like I didn't know it was called, I have only known it as Datura being from the Pacific Northwest, but apparently Jimson weed is what it's called in the South. It's a big deal on Jamaica and Haiti specifically.
Properties include memory loss and delusion.
Like, it was used a lot in Western voodoo, really in Hodo to be specific.
Okay, let's go over this.
What's the deal with that bar, the so-called Banana Lounge?
You got me, I can't find anything about it online.
Oh yeah, blind, like it's not just draining. Like the trips that you hear about are like, oh, I'm so gullible.
Okay, let's go over this.
I have my takeaway from this line of questioning.
What is it?
He ordered from a real restaurant. That's the only thing he's told us so far that adds up.
Indeed, I thought the same.
On top of that, his diet included a known psychedelic plant.
I think we're onto something. What else should we ask him about?
Tell us a little more about this Vagabonda character.
Vagabonda! What a mysterious character.
Oh my god, I bet he wandered into the bathroom and looked in the mirror. What was the deal with her punch card?
It was a loyalty card for a free shovel from Ace of Spades. It's a bespoke shovel manufacturing.
Do you still have it?
Why, yes. Here it is.
Do not. Do not. It's your sink warranty. You just handed me a warranty for an in-sink disposal.
Have I? How odd. Completely unlike me to do such a thing. What else would you like to know?
Why did she curse you?
I assume it was because I took her punch card. What else would you like to know?
How do I know she's a real person?
You don't! I don't! Do we really know anything?
That's the most sane thing you've ever said.
What else would you like to know?
Let's move on to another line of questioning.
Give us a moment, would you, Martin? Anything stand out to you?
The disposal warranty is very intriguing.
I agree. One of the most interesting pieces of evidence thus far.
Oh my god, is the garbage disposal broken and Jimson weeds just sitting in my sink?
What else should we ask him about?
I think we're done here. Let's solve this thing.
Sinclaire, could you give us another moment alone?
Of course. Here, take it.
All right. Thank you. I've been thinking. Whatever is going on, clearly Sinclaire/Martin's mind is...
unstable.
Exactly. I'm a little concerned that given his fragile state, he's vulnerable. I'm afraid that if we make the wrong analysis of the situation, he might lose it completely.
I'm really confident I know what's going on.
I'm glad someone is. I've never been so nervous. I can't make heads or tails of this. I've never trusted anyone with a case before.
Well, I mean, you already looked up all my exes and they told you the terrible things that I'm capable of, which is really just being a person with flaws. So, I mean, you just be...
But I'm gonna trust you to make this call.
So what's what? Have you gotten to the bottom of things?
We have gotten as far as we can.
Well, what's your verdict? Am I man? Or am I sink? Or am I walnut brittle?
Sinclaire, you're actually a sink.
Preposterous! I don't believe it for a moment! What evidence do you have?
You've clearly never worked in insurance.
Dare you suggest such nonsense? I've adjusted 1,000 claims in my day! That proves nothing!
Something happened on your night out.
Yes, I was cursed!
No, Sinclaire, you ate a psychedelic weed.
Madness! Jimson weed is perfectly safe! That proves nothing!
Your encounter with Vagabonda wasn't real.
How dare you!
The punch card was a disposal warranty.
It was? It can't be! I can't believe it! And yet...
Sinclaire wobbles, staggering back against the wall.
Oh, is the room spinning? I don't feel so good.
Sinclaire doubles over, holding his sides with a sickly groan.
I feel something in my pipes. Something strange.
Yeah, your disposal is broken! And you've had Doctora stuck in your pipes for months!
What are you trying to say, Sunsy?
Hit the disposal!
My word. That's
Yes! Detective Hildy on the
He
case!
stands up to his full height, one hand resting gently on his belly, approximately.
What was that in my system? Why, I feel as if I've just returned from some sort of journey. Have I been dreaming?
Oh no, man, you've been tripping balls.
Now, the moment of truth.
Get out of... Call him Justin because he's in sync.
We need to ask you one question. What is your name?
I'm Sinclaire, of course.
Blind, how much of this game have you watched? This is one of the weirdest storylines, but it is not the weirdest storyline. No.
We've done it!
Done what, Maggie?
Never you mind, Sinclaire. Never you mind.
I think you better get some rest, Sinclaire.
Yes. That would be nice. I am quite tired.
I'll come see you soon.
Shall we?
Yeah, go ahead, Maggie. I'll catch up.
Don't take too long.
I just got it not... no, that is a Semper Vivum. That is a hens and chick. Today has been a very stressful day, Maggie. I'm feeling intensely about things. We're gonna talk to the Hanks because they are gonna be fucking weird.
House homie! Welcome back to the
Adrenaline Den! So, Blind. This is one dateable. I have actually been highlighting every stream I do and then posting them into collections of the characters. Eventually, yeah, I'll be making a bunch of YouTube videos of their storylines together. But if you feel like you want to catch up on any character you're interested in, they're actually all in order, including appearances through other quests in my collections. You should follow because I do stream this once a day. And we're at the really interesting part of the game. But yeah. Yeah! But yeah, it's bonkers. The ginger one. You like the ginger one? He creeps me out. He's so like, baby. I think my favorite is number 5 because he's just so chill. It's great to be back.
And it is our pleasure to welcome you back. Our pleasure for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. He gives me like creep vibes.
Hey, what do you think of the new branding?
I think he's super cute. Like, it's hard to design a ginger in this kind of style that is adorable, and he is chef's kiss. But I don't like his personality. It turns me off.
We just named it. Do you like it? Is it a mood?
It's such a mood, guys.
Came to us in a dream.
In a dream?
You were there too, but you were wearing a lot less.
Hey! Tell me more about this sexy dream. I actually think that they're supposed to be basically plural.
Well, we were gearing up to go street luging. It was gonna be wicked gnarly. But you forgot your mouth guard. And all your clothes. Heck number 3 found this very sexually arousing. But frankly, we were just worried for your safety.
See? I like him.
Safety is goals AF!
Go! Hanks are so sweet.
Anyway, give us 2 minutes, would you?
Yeah.
You caught us right in the middle of visualizing success.
They're also like TikTok, like just TikTok as a character.
And some other slightly naughtier
Oh
imagery.
my god, number 3!
We sit and do it for 37 minutes every day.
Exactly 37 minutes.
It's tight, Rosa! Ah, meditation!
Why 37 minutes?
It's the optimal amount of success visualization necessary to shred today's epic event.
What's today's event?
We're going windsurfing!
Yay! Number 2 fucking does not like heights. Really? That sounds dope.
Oh man, it slaps so hard, homie. we're gonna bring our sailboards down from the bathroom. Ask Jean-Loup to hit a flush, and let her rip!
Oh my god, it sounds stupid fun.
Boom! Instant sailboarding! Wicked!
Sounds epic.
Oh, for sure. Honestly, it's also a little dangerous.
I'm so sorry, number 2.
But just the right amount of dangerous. Oh, yeah!
So it is dangerous? Yes, because you could get flushed down the toilet. Duh.
Listen, Red Bull always makes sure all of our adventures are exhilarating and epic.
They're just Red
And
Bulls.
above all, safe. Always safe. Super safe, fam. No cap. Yeah? Tell that to Hank number 6.
There's a number 6? Wait, what happened to Hank number 6?
Nothing nefarious, if that's what you're asking.
Doesn't sound like nothing.
Look, Hank number 6 just isn't around anymore, okay?
Oh my god.
He's gone. It's all good. Promise.
No, it's not all good. Why isn't he around anymore?
Hey, homie. No offense, cause we think you got Riz.
The most terrible. No.
But we can't have you hanging around if you're gonna be sowing discord in the team, you know? Yeah, you're sexy as hell, but we need to be in total harmony to pull off our epic stunts. Anyway, enough about that. What's important is, are you gonna be joining us on today's epic windsurfing activity?
Okay, we're going BRB because there's ads. I'm in distress. Okay, Hanks. Let's go windsurfing. I need to build trust with you, so you tell me what happened to the other Hank. Hell yeah!
Wicked tight! Just remember to stay low, feel the wind, and ride those waves.
What the fuck? Hank number 1, you've been holding out on me.
Ride 'em like you really mean it.
Oh my god, number 3, get out of here.
Let's go shred it up, dog!
Today Has been a rough day in this house. Starmie's not around, so we can't talk to Dunk because Starmie will kill me. So we'll talk to Bathsheba.
Back again, huh? Brave of you with how you've been treating me.
Bathsheba!
So, like, after you left the other day, I kind of felt a little bad for ditching you.
Thank you, that hurt a little.
Oh, don't be sad. We're still cool.
Bathsheba?
Anyway, a popular princess like me should be friends with everyone. And I basically am, but I committed to hearing your little lessons out.
You're the one who asked me for them!
So, what have you got for me today? I should probably choose who we're talking to.
Please, no more shit-talking buddies.
Don't worry, I have someone totally sweet in mind. I got a real great one for us today.
She points at your bathroom mirror, strolling over
Oh,
to
we're gonna...
look at herself.
What?
Amir!
Amir steps forward, greeting Bathsheba with a kiss to each cheek.
Hello. I have been sleeping on you, sir. My screen is officially far too hot for me to emotionally handle.
Bathsheba, my darling, I am truly blessed by your beauty.
Oh my god, stop.
No, it is true. Just look at yourself. The way your just bathed curls frame your perfect face. The gentle peak of your décolletage from your robe. Class and sass in equal measure.
God, I like you.
She is pretty, but we're not here for flattery, Amir. Besides, pay attention to me, not her.
It is not flattery. A mirror can only reflect the truth. And the truth I see is a beautiful bathtub who knows her worth.
For the love of God, just notice me.
God, I do, don't I?
You said you are practicing social skills, yes?
Okay, maybe just both of you. Like, we could just stop this. We could just stop this game and just go.
Learning to take a compliment with poise and grace is a social skill.
Yes!
Let us have an example now. Bathsheba, you may be the most beautiful bathtub I have ever seen in my life. I could live 1,000 years and reflect 1,000 souls, but never would I see your equal again.
Oh, Amir.
Up.
He turns to you with a dazzling smile.
Now then, how does a woman of Bathsheba's immense beauty respond to such a sweet and effusive compliment?
That's so kind. Thank you so much.
That's nice, I guess. A little too demure for a queen like me, but nice.
Humility is for peasants.
Oh my god, no, Amir. She does not need this. This is not the right message for her.
Okay, but like, what if someone doesn't compliment me?
Is such a thing possible when you look the way you do?
You tell them to take another look at your fine self and change their approach.
Now that's advice I can take.
It suits a tub of your unparalleled grace. If they cannot treat you the way you deserve, then you will let them know. And if they still cannot, simply walk away.
God, we should have just started with you, Amir. You really know what's what.
No, he doesn't, but it's okay. You're just gonna be a terrible person. I just want to get friends with you so that I can realize everyone.
I'm only a reflection of you. All that taste is yours.
Actually, I really like to get love with you, and then I would like to somehow mush you two together. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
You see what I mean? He gets it. What a great time.
I'm glad you had fun today.
I did, yeah.
As did I. Always a pleasure.
Ah, today was perfect. Let's make sure we match Amir's energy next time.
Who's teaching? I'm just
You
getting
know
bossed
now.
around.
Amir, sweetie, tell me some more nice things about me.
How about you tell him something nice about him? Lord. Okay, it's Wednesday, so I can go see Monique. I need to remember to do that now.
Oh, hello.
It was pretty amazing, wasn't it, Blind?
Please sit.
No, like on the floor?
Yes. I have given some thought to our previous conversation, and I'd like to be transparent about something you asked. You are correct. I am scared.
Oh.
Unpreparedness gives me a tremendous amount of stress and anxiety. Just imagining myself wandering into the unknown makes me want to quit everything for the day and lie down.
Girl, real, that's a mood.
I hope you understand.
I do. Do you? I don't leave my house, as we have established many times. Yeah, I do.
Duly noted. But in order for me to take risks and venture, I need to know if I can trust you. And trust your decisions. I will be conducting an interview now.
What? Oh, man.
Let us begin. The stakes of this interview is our relationship status, nothing more.
Those are high stakes.
We begin. A game you really want releases, but you have already used up your personal spending budget. What do you do?
Cut out some other spending to fit it in.
I see. Next question. You have some furniture that you no longer need. How do you get rid of it?
Put up a listing for it online.
Duly noted. On to the next question. You happen to win the lottery. How do you manage your new earnings?
Pay off my debts and invest the rest.
Duly noted. Let us continue. Suddenly, you are laid off from your job. What do you do?
Date everything. Adjust my budget.
Duly noted. Next question. How much do you tip?
20%.
Duly noted. Almost done. How often do you think about money?
Sometimes.
I see. Final
This is how money would conduct a date. This is very in character, even if it's intimidating.
Why do you keep visiting me?
Fill out this data text. Because I care about you.
I see. Before we complete this interview, I would like to confirm. Are you satisfied with your answers?
Yes, I'm confident.
Very well, then. This concludes the interview. Thank you for your participation. I will review your results, which you will be briefed on during your next visit. Goodbye.
What? My Lanta. Okay, let's talk to Sinclaire and Maggie. Because I have a feeling we'll finish both of them. I know, Blind, like, duly noted, like, let's be serious. If someone's just, like, duly noted and is that sort of stiff and sexy, that is amazing.
I can't believe we actually did it! Solving that case with you was one of the highlights of my existence. I barely even know what to say.
We make an amazing team.
That we do. And I'd love to keep solving mysteries with you. As a friend or as a lover.
Honestly, you've turned me off so much with digging up my past. I wanna fuck you so bad, but you are not going in the marry category. Let's just stay friends, okay?
Of course. I understand. I'm not for everyone.
Yes.
But a friendship with you is sure to be full of joy. Come back and see me anytime you like. I will forever cherish the memories of our adventures.
Do I not get to know anything about why you're such a creep? Oh, shit. I need to remember not to click through those. All right, Sinclaire.
I feel as if we are meeting for the first time.
Well, hello, Sinclaire. It's a pleasure.
I assure you, the pleasure is all mine. If it weren't for you, I'd still be a raving lunatic. Now that I'm back to my old self, I'd love to thank you properly.
Sure, I wouldn't say no to a date. Oh, what? That just gives me a love status? Oh, that's so much easier than actually having to go on a date with him.
And neither would I. May I take your hand?
Sure, you crazy son of a bitch.
Sinclair reaches out for your hand, taking it in his with a pronounced tenderness. He brushes his thumb gently across the back of it.
So soft.
Wow, you're actually kind of smooth for a sink-headed son of a bitch. I think I've called him a son of a bitch like 3 times now.
I can also be firm.
He can indeed.
Oh dear. Okay, so my smarts is over 40, which makes me think if I talk to this candy man, I might be able to undo a hate ending.
Well, if it isn't the spexiest person I've ever met.
I'll let that go. Failed your sass check, I see.
Oh, you try being clever all the time, eh? Anyhow, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I'd love to see if I can get a bit of candy.
Ah, sure. I'll take a look at you when we are done chatting.
Just wanted to say hi and flirt with you.
My. Isn't that flattering?
You're a silver fox, my guy.
Let's see if you're flirty enough to catch my eye.
Let's see if you're worth my effort, silver fox.
Ooh, I love a bit of banter. Lure me in. Make me want to open you up. This was fun. But with experience comes the desire to take one's time.
Also, I feel like it's a little bit of Dorian Slappy Seconds, and that's kind of complicated.
To savor the game, as it were. I haven't tasted romance in so long. And the flavor is so sweet. Let's flirt a bit more sometime, if you feel like it.
Sure.
Until then, there's something I've been thinking about asking you.
What is it?
It's like this, you see. I cannot stop thinking about why I ended up in that crawl space. Ever since you first asked me about it, I began to question it more myself. Did I do something wrong? Make some mistake? My heart has always been in the right place, but perhaps I slipped up in the past. Oh no. Was it some act of betrayal or rejection? I just can't seem to put it all behind me.
How can I help you get to the bottom of it?
There is one way I can think of, but it might not be so easy. I almost don't even want to ask you this for fear of what you'll think. But here it is. As you may or may not know, I believe one of the previous owners of the house is affiliated, shall we say, with your current employer.
Oh. See, there's no such thing as coincidence, but dang.
Yes, strange, isn't it? Perhaps it's destiny. In any case, as I was racking my brain to come up with a memory of my imprisonment, I thought of something. It is perhaps just a fleeting idea. But I recalled that one of the Valdivian folks used to keep an online journal.
Any excuse to talk to Mac again.
He was, in particular, a real stickler for recording dates, accounts, etc.
but most specifically, the locations of important things.
Oh, this could be the key to your mystery, Keith.
That's exactly what I've been thinking. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to my beautiful non-binary computer partner and figure that out.
Truly, I'm utterly open to questions or thoughts.
Technically, it does sound a bit weird, but yeah.
I agree. That's why I hesitated before telling you I'd even thought about it. It's in my nature to be curious, to want to open things up.
You're a mega thief, aren't you?
So, the idea appears harmless to me. I leave the decision up to you at the end of the day.
I think that's all I have to ask about this for now, because all those questions are better asked to Mac.
Am I mad for thinking up this strange scheme? Should I just leave the past where it lies, never to be recalled? Or shall we take the plunge together and seek the truth in strange places? I will gladly abide by your decision, whatever it is.
That's a lot of pressure to give me. Let's hack that password.
I'm overjoyed. This will be the beginning of a great adventure. Next time I see you, we can begin.
Roger, Dodger.
I need to prepare myself to learn the truth. Now, before you go, let's see if you're ready for some candy.
Smart.
Take a closer look at you.
He narrows his eyes, evaluating you with a sharp up-and-down gaze. You can feel yourself sweat just a little under his intense scrutiny.
Pardon me?
Here is a smart
Yeah!
candy. It'll turn you into a real intellectual dazzler.
You take in the scent of the Smarts candy. Even a small whiff of it makes you feel smarter already.
Use it wisely, to wow anyone with your brain power.
All right, Dishy, you financial stealing son of a bitch. Dishy. Oh, you're Sass. Wait, who is Smarts? Was that... Maybe that was Washford. Yeah, he's the one, like, referencing T.S. Eliot. Yeah. Alright, Washford. Eat candy, motherfucker. Meow.
Oh, you're back. For surely you come for entertainment, while I am an empty keg. No more champagne in the bottle.
What if I said that I'm sorry?
What an overused word. Sorry.
Nice!
So pulled and stretched it has become.
Blind! Oh my god, thank you! That's so wonderful! Thank you! Holy cow!
I think not. I will not contort myself around pablum to soothe a wounded ego. Though the word tastes sweeter than I would have expected.
I'm just emotionally, I'm shocked. I'm happy that you enjoy yourself, and I'm so happy to meet your friends. If they're even remotely as funny as you, I'm gonna have a great time.
Sorry. And I feel somehow a sincerity about you. Very well. Welcome to your only second chance.
Roger Dodger. Yes! I can finish Drysdale's story. That's so cool. That's so cool. I don't even know what to do. How do I even do it? This is my first type train I've ever had, and it's level 2. Unlock now. This is nuts. So does that mean these are on my channel now? That's so cool. Oh, okay. Unlock one emote. Sub, gift, or cheer to unlock. Okay. I'll gift a sub on my own channel. Fuck it. Great. So it goes to people who've stopped by and chatted, doesn't it? Oh, that's cool. So it'll send them a notice? That's really cool. That's cool. No, thank you. Blind stopped by and gifted these subs, and I made $20 last month, so I thought, why not just gift some more? I mean, this is my first time having any bit of a hype train at all. It's really exciting for me. You should stop by and watch some Date Everything. It's great. Okay, Monique did. I gotta go back to streaming. Stream.
Welcome back. I reviewed your answers and taken them into careful consideration. I believe you to be well-meaning. You are smart. You really took my questions into thought. But you also stayed true to yourself and how you live your life. Some of your answers were a bit erratic for me, but I respect your choices. I would really like to join you and walk around the house, just not anytime soon. I hope you understand.
I get it.
But please, visit me again. I will be more than happy to go over any financial troubles with you, or even hear stories about life from outside the safe. Thanks for spending time with me.
I was not good enough with money, which probably can be evidenced by me buying subs for my own channel. I mean, technically it's Vic's money. Or the government's. Let's see. Let's see. I know. Okay. Okay. We can talk to Drysdale now. Because Washford no longer makes...
Yes?
Hey, descriptivist, it's a marketing expense!
Oh, you caught me at a time when I was,
I'm second on my own channel. I love that. I'm gonna have to get a rich follower.
Sitting here like a lump. A big QB lump.
Asterion, what's going on? You having a hard time? I just came from talking with Watchford.
You what? Oh, of course you did. He was probably just draped all over the floor, dripping emotions. He's an obvious one to ask if you're trying to accomplish something.
I'm not trying to upset you, but I thought you should know.
And what did Gilbert and Tragedy have to say?
You literally went off about how much you loved him last time I talked to you. God. Honestly, he talked a lot about you.
Really? And do you hate me now too?
Not at all. Neither does he.
Pish. Don't patronize me. You don't have the money.
So, these two were together for 25 years, and they broke up like 5 years ago or something like that. And it's because Washford said that Drysdale's full of himself, and Drysdale said that he's a depressed lump. So I went and talked to Washford, and Washford gave me the Wasteland instead of the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, which told me he was a totally arrogant bastard, but I thought I was being nice to him, and then he started to hate me. So I had to go get a lot of smarts to get a candy so that I could make him not hate me. Anyway, Washford told me how much he loves Drysdale, Drysdale told me how much he loves Washford, but they're both just stubborn little idiots. Actually, seemed like he misses you.
Ha! Now I know you're lying. He was very clear the last time we spoke that he wanted nothing to do with me after the, never mind.
After what?
Please. He must have told you.
No, he did not. He didn't, actually.
I don't like to tell this story. I don't know that I ever have, really. Washy called it the Pale Betrayal.
He did call it the Pale Betrayal. A cute nickname.
Oh, sweet, dry as sheet. Never tell him I used that name in front of you. I wasn't even allowed to use him in a public place. He'd purse his lips if I did.
Yeah, I saw him do that.
It's unmistakable. But I did it anyway. I loved his lips.
Aww. His lips are gorgeous, given.
So you've noticed them too. I thought I recognized a fellow addict. Lips anonymous, eh?
Eh.
And as taken as I've always been by them, it wasn't enough. There's a young hormone around here named...
Oh no! Oh no, you fucked a younger guy? Oh. Yeah, I remember him. Scrawny, kinda sexy.
He's hard to miss. In any event, he has this habit of taking off his clothes. He wanders around, nearly nude, unbothered by the temperature changes he engenders in others.
Shame on you, Drysdale. Come on.
I'm an appliance, not a monk.
Anything?
He used to do it so often that Washford and I took to using his clothes as part of our act.
Okay, that's fine if both of you were in on it.
Flip them and wring them and fold them whilst he was flipping and folding and wringing me. It was, my God, it was spectacular. I was spectacular. That, after years of doing this act with Washford, it began to grind on me. Washford can be very difficult. And one being can only take so much from another before the pressure has to be released. The heat has to go somewhere.
You are making an excuse for fucking a dude who's easily 100 years younger than you. What did you do?
Well, we were in the middle of our act. We were using Dirk's red jeans and one of his chest-smushing polos, and Dirk was just lying there like he used to, dirty and shirtless, and I had this brilliant idea of including him in the performance.
Oh, Lord. You didn't ask Washford, did you? Oh my God! Oh my God! You brought another person into bed!
No, I did not, alright? We were in the middle of our performance. You think nature asks an opinion in the middle of creation?
You were in the middle of sex and you brought a younger man into the room!
Dirk didn't have to do anything. I just struck up conversation. It was this sexy, witty, improvisatory repartee. He just kept saying the nicest things to me about her act and my costume and how much he liked the musculature of my shoulders. So I kept him talking and I refused to give him his clothes back.
What? What do you mean, refused?
I just didn't give them back, that's all. I mean, I would have eventually, yes. That was the genius bit. I just kept our act going. The last part of the choreography was always Washford passing the clothes to me, and then me spinning them around and around, faster and faster. Building up all this tremendous heat, this anticipation, this breathlessness, and at the last second, whipping them all out into the audience and letting the audience catch them all hot and billowy.
I'm so sorry I ever made fun of you, Washford. Holy God.
So I just kept talking to Dirk, and Washford was supposed to keep holding me in the clothes while Dirk got more and more colourful, and I laughed, and the audience laughed and screamed, and it was, my God, it was poetry!
I can't believe you did all this without asking Washford.
I know, don't you think I know? In retrospect, yes, of course it was wrong. Yes, the clothes stayed a little wet. They mildewed the tiniest bit. They made Washford sick. He said he had a cough. And afterwards he called it the pale betrayal. What a nonsense, dramatic exaggeration of the only good idea this act has seen in decades.
I'm sure Washford has had some good ideas, too.
Oh, can you point to any?
He came up with the pale betrayal. That's pretty cool.
Yes, marvelously original.
So he felt like you betrayed him by flirting with Dirk in the middle of a performance.
Yes. I suppose so. I was barely flirting.
You didn't give him his clothes back, you creeper!
Dirk was just being nice. Washford was always so damn sensitive.
But if you knew he was so sensitive, why did you flirt with Dirk? Huh?
It wasn't really flirting. He was being complimentary, and I was playing along. If that's flirting, then I need practice. I was performing. I was making our act better in the process. So, what's the harm?
But you knew how sensitive this person you say you love was to your actions.
Yes.
And you loved Washford.
Yes, I loved him. I am. Dirk was just being so nice to me.
Nicer than Washford.
No, not nicer. Of course not. Just Washford can be so mysterious. You know, he can be very difficult to read. Sometimes I
He's
didn't
been
know
for
where
25
I stood with
fucking
him or
years.
how he felt. It was just nice for once to be talking to someone whose every other word was how wonderful I am. Dirk told me I had inspirational extension. And I do! You haven't seen it, but I'm basically one of those nesting ladders.
That makes sense, actually.
Points. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't mean to do anything wrong. I just needed to know that Washford loved me. I just needed him to say it, I suppose. That's all.
It's time for you and Washford to have a conversation with each other.
Maybe. It's an interesting suggestion. I'm not saying I'm convinced. I'm still hurt, but also I'm over it, and I don't care. And I don't really miss my former friend. I mean, I do miss him. Desperately. But I'm not that easy. I mean, I don't want to be. I would so much rather be suave Genuinely suave.
You're not.
I've always wanted to be more mysterious than I am.
Yeah, no, baby, you're an open book. You don't have to be mysterious, Drysdale. You just have to be honest.
You sound like Washford.
Yeah, baby, you just gotta... Sweetheart, ugh. You're so confused.
How do you know he even wants to be with me again?
He told me. He asked me to come and talk to you. Did he actually? I just have a feeling.
Feelings are always worth going all in on. Call his name for me, would you?
All right.
Call for Washford.
Call his name!
Washford!
Again.
Washford!
Your calls are met with silence. No Washford.
And he does not arrive. It might be over. Cherub, I have some drying out to do. Please leave me.
Why don't you call for him? Child. Alright, Scandelabra, we gotta follow up on this.
You return. You are rather jejune in your jests. But to become one with a
Oh, we're gonna walk backwards? We're walking backwards.
Give as much as you take.
Wish to become one with the path of scandal.
I've given you an awful lot, haven't I? What have you for me?
The sink is really a man, I think?
Most confounding. We are all separate objets in this world, and I think of myself as always and forever being the Scandelabra. But perhaps beings like yourself can inhabit beings like mineself. Salacious. Tell me, what happened to him?
I couldn't tell. Schrodinger's sink.
Schrodinger's sink. Both man and sink at the same time. Perhaps that's my fate. Both candelabra and gold. Add one scandal to the tally. Do you have more?
I do not. I don't have anything right now other than you.
Then be gone and find me some tasty morsels.
Alright, we got 2 more charges for the stream. What are we gonna do? I just hear from the other room Victor go, Achoo!
Well, I wagered so. They, being generous of sod and spirit, wagered you would find your courage. And so you have. Your medal mayhaps buys a chance to fight in comradeship once more. We, the Dipogenes and I, are just about to begin our daily training. Should it please you, you will join us.
Oh, fun. I love training.
Excellent. We train as we fight, consistently and with vim. It is an ancient game of chance and fate.
As Tidus explains, the Dipogenes begin to move together, almost as if they'd choreographed this.
Stone, stone, stone!
One makes a choice, and then must honor it with presence and with blood.
Parchment, parchment, parchment!
The outcome is unknown. But be it victory or defeat, the sacrifice remains. And the game, just as the battle, will rage in endless ecstasy for all time.
Yeah, Lime. Wait, have you been gifted? Did anyone gift you a sub? Have you been gifted a sub?
Cheers, cheers, cheers!
Of all the people Lime didn't get.
Welcome, inductee, to the agoge of Stone Parchment Shears!
This is awesome. I'm in. We're gonna play rock, paper, scissors.
Of course you are. Hear my soul speak. Your openness has freed me as a ship from its moorings, and now I float, gleeful of abandon, into the open ocean. A newing pleasure, training at the side of equal verve, vigor, and resolve.
That's so silly. I'm so sorry, Lime. But in all fairness, the people who got subs, it's really handy for me because a lot of them are not regulars. So, you know, they will be stopping by and that's very good for me. But I'm gonna con someone into getting you a sub. Don't worry about it. And a pleasure for me, General.
As you try to analyze what Titus may do, the Dipogenes are moving through 3 different poses. They cluster into a group for stone, they form into an opening and closing V for shares, and they all flatten themselves to the ground for parchment.
Oh my god, I'm out of liquids. ADHD doesn't work like this! We can't be liquid free, we'll die! Oh, Lime, you're the sweetest little bunny. I love you so much.
Let the battle begin! Unus, duo, tres, saggito!
The Dipogenes move into place just as you're calling out your own play.
That's such perfect timing. Lime was like, yes! I may ban! Parchment!
A bold, cloaked newcomer shows their quality. Again! Unus, duo, tres, saggito!
Cheers! Damn it!
The stranger stands in a muck-strewn field of battle against the bedraggled horde of Dipogenes. Their breath heaves, and exhalations struggle through the dust and sweat-soaked air. They both know this final onslaught will determine their fate. Fight for freedom. Fight for nobility. Fight for honor! Unus! Duo! Tres! Saggito!
Stone! Yes!
'Twas well fought, stranger. 'Twas well fought. Now thou must see the truth beneath the game. Duty above all else. Take thy sacrifice and leave me be. I have seen enough loss for one day. Come, let you go and make thy mother blind. For such a sight will blind a general's eye. 1 hour's storm will drown the fragrant pods. What will whole months of tears from mother's eyes? Do not draw back, for we will mourn with thee. Oh, could our mourning ease thy misery?
Rejoice! Rejoice! The chosen one has been summoned to combat! The gods claim their prize! All hail sacrifice! Victory!
We must rest now, our newfound warrior. Come again, if thou wilt.
That was perhaps one of the most surreal experiences I've had in a video game in a long time. I do love Titus so much. That was so surreal. Let's talk to the Hanks, because Hank number 6 is really stressing me out.
Yo, yo, yo! Homie's back in the house!
I have not played Everhood Day.
The dope daredevil, the radical risk taker, the boss border. Make yourself comfortable, gorgeous.
Thanks again. I got a level 2 hype train. I'm such a big kid. Couldn't stay away from you guys.
Right? Isn't the adrenaline so addicting? Pump it into my throbbing veins!
So apparently there was a Hank number 6. And he's missing.
Anyway, don't mind us, Press. We're just inspecting our equipment for today's epic outing. It's gonna be so freaking epic, dog! Got any equipment you need us to inspect? I promise we're very thorough.
Actually, I think they are all the same voice actor. Aw, you can inspect my equipment anytime. I'll finally give in to you, Ginger.
Oh, we'll be more than happy to check everything out. Don't you worry. Gotta make sure all your gear is in optimal condition. Safety slaps! Snap, look at the time. We better get ready ASAP if we're gonna catch the good thermals, fam.
Where are you Hanks off to today?
Paragliding, homie. It is an exhilarating pursuit, allowing us to soar through the skies like Stickerus himself.
Like Stickerus himself? Stop. I just...
High key slaps, dog!
Sounds epic!
It's gonna be totally worth it. Even though we might not all come back.
Hank number 6.
No, we're definitely all gonna come back. What a kidder.
Hank number 6 has passed.
Red Bull would never have us do something dangerous.
Guys, I'm starting to get a little concerned.
There's legit nothing to be concerned about, homie.
Why not?
Because Red Bull understands our value holistically as a team. And there's no team if something dangerous happens to one of us. We're irreplaceable! Except for Hank's number 6, Hank's number 7, and Hank's number 8.
Hanks were there originally!
Oh, it doesn't matter, homie.
Yes, it does!
You're focused on the wrong issue. Gotta stay focused, brah. Look, we don't know what kind of Discord you're trying to set up here, brah. Our sponsor would never let something bad happen to us. Because they value our individual contributions to this team. Well, they value something.
Oh my god.
You get what we're spitting, dog?
Chillax, dudes. Just asking questions.
You care. And we see that, homie. Facts! So what do you say, brah? Gonna come paraglide with us? Or sit it out like some kind of lame-o?
I'm in. Let's do it.
Hella dope! Make sure you're totally pumped and ready to push yourself to the limit! Forget your fears and let the rush of adrenaline fuel your flight! Let's go catch some epic thermals, playa!
Alright, let's see if they're all one voice actor. Are they under Hanks or the... Oh, thank God. Yep, one guy, Robbie Damon. Everhood. Everhood. I love surreality in a game. Like, I'm obsessed with surreality in games. I have been playing an airport for aliens currently run by dogs, and it is actually breaking me in an existential way. And I love it, but I hate it, and I love it. Everhood. Oh, it's like rhythm. It's a rhythm RPG. Alright, that's pretty cool. Actually, what I've been playing privately is something that I'll probably play again to stream because there's a million different endings. Because I long ago trained myself to play games to fall asleep. So, I've been playing Buddy Simulator 1984. That's freaking... Like all things that don't blow up entirely, it's not perfect, right? It definitely goes too hard in some directions. It could have used better editing. Semper Viva. But, I think as a general experience, it is incredibly unique. I would say it's obviously a follower of this whole Undertale, Pony Island, Dog Airport game, I guess, formula, but it doesn't really use mechanics so much as it uses like real questions, I think, about AI. It's ultimately about AI and about whether AI is alive or not. So I'm quite fond of it. I think it's a very good game. But in general, these are kind of my bread and butter as far as like what I seek out. You know, when I read books, I read magical realism, and when I play games, I try to play things that are in some way, shape, or form questioning the notion of the traditional. Games are boring if they're not trying to challenge something. I picked up Birth on the Steam sale, and with a raid with Miss Ray today, ended up at Betty Boop, who's a Dr. Mario streamer, and she was talking about how she really liked Birth, and they said it's like the Rusty Lake series, and I am so excited. Yeah, it sounds like a game that I will not obsess over, but I will enjoy. And I am absolutely fine playing games just to have a discussion about them. I like the production of games I like creating literature, period. And literature to me is anything that tells a story. So I like games as literature. I like I like the concept of a code as writing. Yeah, I'm here for that. You know, like I can get over mechanics I don't like as long as there is a sincere attention to story. And there's something that you could learn. I also understand that I have all these pretentious degrees that have taught me to think very critically, and that these are ways in which I can open up this hobby of mine and be sort of instructional, right? I spent $110,000 in various and sundry English, art, publishing kind of classes, philosophy, all of that. So one thing I think I've noticed, Dave, is that I don't view mechanics as getting in the way in the story. I view mechanics as the story. Like, mechanics are never separate for me. So if you feel like the mechanics do not represent the story, I'll actually hate it. I can play some really cheesy, badly written games and like them because the mechanics are representing something deeper. So I think, for example, actually a really good example of this would be Probably Undertale is the easiest, right? Yeah, I agree. There are games that so I think that you are just less patient with games as an experience than I am, and that's great because it takes all sorts of people to understand art. There's never one interpretation to it in any capacity. And I legitimately would not be able to play the Zero Escape series. Like, I watch you play that and I want to kill them all. Right. See, to me, Hades is not actually problematic in the slightest. Greek mythology was built layer after layer from text after text from a million different people talking a million different ways with a million different variations. By running through the same area every single time, you're essentially building the mythology. The grind, I don't think it's a grind at all. I think you're simply running through its reality. I don't think either of us is wrong, but this is how I've interpreted his actions. And how I interpret its storytelling. Yeah, I think that the concept of character building in mythos is particularly multifaceted, especially if we pull out of Greek and we go into like Old English. They didn't even tell you. Yes. Yeah, I think I don't like playing the game is maybe the better thing, the better way that you. If I'm interpreting what you're saying correctly, I think what I'm hearing is that you don't enjoy playing the game, but you enjoy the game and you enjoy the creativity behind the game. Which is why streaming exists, really. Right? You can go watch the games you don't want to play. It's a way to turn games and the experience of games into more like a play. You know? I do think that right now we have a series of pretenders, especially from young devs, that are really desperately trying to capitalize on this feeling that they gained from these sort of big posters. But they're not realizing why they got that feeling. They haven't sat through and discussed with themselves why they feel like that story is very deep. They have simply said, that was really amazing to me that you had to be pacifist the whole time, right? That the game itself was commenting on morality. So then they try to structure something that's commenting on morality, but they don't understand why they were affected by the game commenting on morality. And it was because the characters themselves were strong. They were not overdone. The battles were interesting yet incredibly difficult. So to actually kill them, you had to work very, very, very hard. You had to commit to murder. So it felt like a bad thing to do. So you start getting a bunch of these games that are coming out sort of misunderstanding why these mechanical changes are important. I think Strange Scaffold is a company that you would greatly enjoy. Their games tend to be very short experiences, and they do tend to take genres that are not typically used, like clickers and match threes, and really try to use the mechanic to tell the story. But I think there's just, you know, sort of horror visual novels that are coming out, and they're saying, oh, I really like this psychological dread I got from Pony Island, or I really like how White Day really traumatized me. Mouthwashing. Mouthwashing comes out. Everyone says, let's do a bunch of horrific discussion. And let's really get slasher. But they don't realize that Mouthwashing was using slasher surrealism in order to talk about how we destroy ourselves, right? honestly, mouthwashing to me was more of a walking simulator. I don't care. Walking simulators can be fantastic. That's exactly where where I land on this and why. Yeah, well, you know, I go with where the devs. Right, all the copycats didn't get it all. They just didn't get it at all. I'm about to. I've used all my snoozes, by the way. An ad break is about to interrupt our conversation. So I am deeply apologetic. Welcome to the pedantic mind of a Hildy. But I think that there's value in that. Yeah, I think that there's value in even taking these sort of more annoying, and I think that there's also value in you being unable to address some of these as well, because I'm able to say everyone can cook and find where the errors are and piece them out. But individuals not being able to tolerate the text because it's too shallow, I think is equally important. There's got to be the like Hildies who are going to sit here and overthink your work and then point out where your inauthenticity or your lack of comprehension of what your goal, you know, the how you fell short of your intentions. And there has to be the days who will say, because you fell short, you're trash. Right now, I guess I agree. I think so. There is a game that's coming out called Tamashika, and Tamashika literally bills itself as a meditation game. And it is this rainbow-soaked hellscape, like the memes of all of the crazy 20-something memes of 2015. Like, but you have to be perfectly on time with your violence every time, or you're done. Like this incredible meta commentary about why we might choose to be violent endlessly. Or why games like Sekiro work. They're impossible. And part of that is because these goals should be impossible, right? And we should be thinking about how they're impossible. And I think the Sekiro is in some ways too big to get too obviously into it, right? Because if you get, well, I mean, this is why From Software has, you know, like Dark Souls and Demon Souls as a concept is trash. A game so hard that you bang your head against it. I refused to play them for the longest time because the concept is trash. But when playing them, you realize that what they're actually trying to tell you is you have the time to do this because you're in an impossible situation. If you spent every waking minute of every day attempting to be the most glorious person you can be, you'd just end up tarnished. Very few can be the hero. But where I was going with AAA, right, is that they're so large. Right, very few can be the hero. And it's not you, you're just a survivor. And but these games are so large that they can't be super direct. Sekiro will chastise you, but it'll use it, like these games will use you to do things, but they can't, like, they can't pull what Undertale did because they have to make back their money. Ghost of Tsushima ran into this problem too. You have to make back that huge expensiveness. So that's where I think games like Tamashika come in, where they're sort of filling in those gaps. Like Sekiro introduces this and gets about 3/4 of the way, and then Tamashika says, here you go. That's also where a lot of these pretenders, I think, actually have a role. They're at price points and at failure points that are a lot more easy to cope. A lot easier to use thematically. In fiction, we find this a lot too. You know, the paperback, right, or the shitty genre romance. You can talk about them all as if they're the same book. I mean, I agree. I think that the problem is it can't be you and I come from a background where we've had to question our reality in some capacity. Both through trauma and through education. This has given to us a utility box that allows us to find these symbols and use them. But I don't think that Dark Souls is explicit enough for your everyday dude. And I think the everyday dude is not the problem. You know, I think it's not just, you know, well, we had to discover who we really are, which means we had to think about symbolism all the fucking time. So it's a lot easier for us to process things like that. And then nobody. I think that there is this kind of middle road. And games like Dark Souls are not direct enough. Yeah. And that's I guess my argument for these blunt, less than mimickers is they can be rough and less enjoyable, but they are going to get the point across a little harder. And the act of trying to mimic these incredibly inspiring games for these people is the act of trying to get the message. And I want to like discuss where they miss it so that we can try and bring them along. Oh, Nine Souls is on my list. I should check if it's on Steam sale. I mean, investing in a Souls like right now is not necessarily on my... I have to play a lot on the Steam Deck, and my hands fall asleep because I have the OLED, and I'm old. So, to a point, Souls-likes aren't always the best for me. But they're games that I thoroughly enjoy. Logan, that's what I was kind of getting at, is that I think the Souls-like genre is too vague for some people, and I don't think that's wrong, you know? I think it is giving the messages that it gives, and that Day and I are overthinking sons of bitches who can pick that out like crazy. But the difficulty shouldn't be the point, exactly. The difficulty should represent something. If the difficulty doesn't represent something, it's a waste. Then it's just hard to... You can talk about why people are attracted to games that are really hard. The ennui of everyday living is so painful that sometimes just succeeding over something is a reward in and of yourself. In and of for yourself. I just think, you know, like having a goal that you can succeed at in a world where you may not even be allowed to own property is something that's important. You know, you'll never own your home, so at least you can not level up and crush a Souls-like. But I think messaging. I don't play games to have a grind. I play games to learn something. I agree with that too, Logan. You know, I think that life maybe isn't painful so much as it is boring. And I don't think boring's bad, but I think there's a lot of hours right now in the modern world, and we don't always have something to fill them with. And I think there's a lot of people, especially in America, who are blocked off from something that they want. I think that's one of the major appeals, but not the only appeal. Yeah, I think sometimes I sound like I'm speaking in tautologies, but I'm really only talking in an aspect. Like Day is talking about why I think a lot of people like that genre, but I don't think that's the only reason people like that genre. I am very bored because I'm very smart, so I make my games. I mean, I'm actually using you as an example because I think that Logan mentioned, your life doesn't need to be painful to enjoy difficult games. And I was like, that's absolutely true. In no way am I disagreeing with that. I am more talking about just the concept of it, like the experience of boredom. I am very, very smart. I say that without ego. It is simply what is. And I get so bored. So I make all my video games hard, so I stop thinking and I think about succeeding over them. There are as many other ways I could challenge myself. I have 3 degrees. I do those ways. I still get bored. And that's why I end up attracted to super difficult games, or I pick very hard, or whatever, is because the idea of having that hand-eye coordination and succeeding over the challenge fills that gap in me. This is what we've been doing for the past 30 minutes. I don't think you... At least... I mean, that's why I like streaming. Logan, why do you like difficult games outside of, like, not the Souls-like genre, but in general? Why do you enjoy overcoming a difficult challenge? I mean, these are the discussions that I do this for. I can talk about myself all I want, but you never learn anything if you don't talk to others. No, I disagree entirely, Dave, but I'm interested in what Logan has to say for a second. I don't want to go off on a different tangent before I sort of inquire about this reason for overcoming a difficult challenge. Like, I'm not waiting on you entirely. Actually, maybe Logan left because it is late. I should make sure that Logan's here before I don't go chatting about stuff. This is far later than a Hildy usually runs, so... Listen now, buddy. Let me click the thing. Okay, fine. Fuck you. I won't click the thing. Click this thing. Oh, Logan's here. Let's give Logan some time to type out. So it's like, as we grow older, the things that we do become easier. But more difficult challenges are longer. They basically interrupt the flow of our lives for longer and are more valuable. Something like this. And they just make the product more valuable. Because these are products, so we can go off on their meanings all we want, but ultimately they're products. I should do one of those, like, just chattings, but do like the stream together so that people can call in. That way having these kind of discussions is a little easier. I should do that. I should do that once a week. Be like needy streamer overload and have like a topic. I do think that having a primary mechanic being the antithesis of what the game wants you to do is messaging in and of itself. It is very hard to do the right thing. Sometimes not doing anything at all is the right answer. Well, I mean, that's just a construction issue, right? That's not necessarily a mechanic issue, as it's just an implementation issue. Yeah, that's just a design flaw. That's implementation issue. Yeah, that's not I don't think that it's intentionally fighting you. Yes. Yeah. Like Undertale is such a cornerstone game because of how it really changed how we think about mechanics, right? And this is something that I agree with Logan. I think that the choice to do nothing is a choice. And I also feel like when you're finding that the mechanics are like that it's not necessarily the mechanics that are the problem, it's the dev's design, right? Like they're kind of, to me, they're two different forms of inquiry. One is just about building a game and making it a functional game, and one is about symbolism and how mechanics communicate that message. And the intention is clear, but the development is poor. I agree that makes it a bad game, but I don't think it makes it a bad game because of their choice of mechanics. I think the mechanics did inform the design, but what you're talking about, I think, are errors in intention that if those were fixed, so like the windows to act being extremely small, you can make the windows larger and you can make them clear. Those are fixable errors. They're not like a complete mechanic failure. I actually think I know what you're talking about, but I think that maybe this game has a bigger problem that it's hard to communicate in text. But I'm thinking of a game like... It's there. Give me a second. Eternal Cylinder. Eternal Cylinder actually does have a major mechanics flaw. And it has a major production flaw. The mechanics do not actively further the story. There were many points where I said, why do I have to keep doing this? Leveling up is almost pointless in certain capacities. Several mutations don't matter. I think Blueprints, I think you sometimes conflate mechanics with structure. I don't disagree with your critique of Blueprints in the slightest. I think the most aggravating thing for me for Blueprints was the fact that I had to play for 5 hours to get the fucking pump room. But I think structure Or maybe I don't want to say structure with mechanics, but quality with overall mechanics. Because you can use the same mechanics and just have them be trash. Like, it can just be not good development. It doesn't necessarily mean that the mechanics are poor for the story. Like, I think Blueprint suffers from first developer problems because the heavy RNG actually does represent the theme, but they should have balanced it somehow on the back end. But then again, our opinions are... Yeah. I think it's a vocabulary problem. I think this is something that I want to, like, take into the boiler, the Hildy boiler, and maybe come up with, like, a set... I think I want to hold, like, a discussion. I want to see if I could do that. But it is 1 a.m., so I gotta go to fucking bed. Yeah, I want to do like a discussion where I get like 5 or 6 people, like something like fucking Larry David, you know? And then we can have defined terms in advance. I have to think about this. Oh yeah, I'd love you to participate in it. Yeah, I gotta figure it out, but I want to do it. Because I think that these kind of discussions are, I mean, they exist on Twitch, but I think it's just every individual can do it a little way. Yes, you're right, Logan. I need to go to sleep, and thank you for caring and telling me to get the fuck out of here. I appreciate it. Tomorrow is Talos O'Clock, and then we'll do Date Everything again. Like I said, we're gonna bust through this game. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. As usual, Logan and Day. I love... well, I was talking most of the time, so I don't really feel like that was stealing my stream time. I do have to get in the habit of changing it to just chatting when these moments happen, but, you know, I'm gonna get there. This is what my stream is supposed to be, and you have been very respectful in the past when I've said, hey, we're gonna go do something else, so I don't care. Talos 2, we're doing some DLC. It's, we're doing Orpheus Reawakening right now. On my YouTube is all Talos 1 and Gehenna and Talos 2. But as I told Logan too, these kind of discussions are why I stream. It may not fit like the Twitch mold, but it is, if I'm going to make this successful, I want it to be because of this rather than that. Yep. Absolutely. You should stop by, because the few things you remember may help you not want to kill yourself during Talos 2, because it's a very... Talos 2 has 1 or 2 very important design flaws, because it was very ambitious. As Day and I were talking about, they tried to take the individual and make it a society, and that does come into conflict with some of their puzzles. And we're far past any real story. I'll also tell you, like, I'm very good about saying, hey, we're going to switch DLCs. There might be a cutscene. If you don't want to be spoiled, get the hell out of here. So, okay, I'm going. But yes, gonna, like, structure this discussion thing. That's what I want to do. Now I leave. Good night, and thank you for stopping by. It was a very fun stream. I love these kinds of discussions. Don't hold back. Y'all are... I will continue to encourage people who are very respectful about discussion and also willing to encourage a deeper thought about this medium that we're all passionate about. Good night.